Hello, my name is Paulina Machuca, and I am a historian specialized in biocultural exchanges between Mexico and the Philippines during the Manila Galleon period.
During the 16th and 17th centuries, thousands of Filipinos arrived in New Spain thanks to the Manila Galleon. Colima and the surroundings of Acapulco were two important places where Filipinos established because they were hired as farmers and tuba and lambanog producers.
I have directed a documentary about tuba making in Mexico and the Philippines, which is available on YouTube.
In this documentary, I compare the tuba making process both in Colima, Mexico, and Bohol and Aklan in the Visayas. It is so incredible to see how tuberos and mananangot or mananguete extract tuba in the same way, despite the thousands of kilometers that separate both countries. But it is in the way of consuming tuba where we find the big difference. In Colima, tuba is a refreshing drink. Natural tuba is consumed in the morning, and tuba compuesta is consumed during the day, and it is prepared with fruits and peanuts. In contrast, in Bohol, tuba is a fermented drink, and it has some additives like tonog, which is a bark from mangroves.
Filipinos introduced the distillation technique to the New Spain by the end of the 16th century.
Although there is an unconfirmed hypothesis that a type of pre-Hispanic distillation existed in Mexico, I have been able to demonstrate that it was the Filipinos who produced the first distilled beverages in Mexico. Lambanog was called Vino de Cocos in New Spain, and it was a very successful drink during the 17th century. It was commercialized in the main cities and villages like Mexico or Guadalajara, but especially lambanog was very well appreciated in mining areas of the north of Mexico. The Philippine steel consisted of a hollow wooden log, a copper ladle, and an earth oven, and this Filipino-type steel was later used to produce the first mezcals. Who would say that mezcal, the famous Mexican drink, has a Filipino origin in its production technique? Lambanog making disappeared in New Spain at the beginning of the 18th century, but tuba production continued in the local markets. I analyze all the history of lambanog making in Mexico in my book El Vino de Cocos en la Nueva España, which is being translated into English.
Recently, a good friend of mine, Jorge Velasco, began the project of producing again Vino de Cocos in Colima as in colonial times.
He called his brand La China Mestiza after an article I published some years ago. Is this the beginning of the glorious times for the Vino de Cocos, as in the 17th century? Time will tell.
I've always said that Mexico and the Philippines are two sister countries, and it is time to renew the ties that were once lost.